Good morning. It's Patrick Johnson, the president and CEO of Biophotos Incorporated, the manufacturer of the award-winning and internationally acclaimed Celluma series of light therapy devices. Good morning to you all. This morning I'm going to be interviewing Michelle Worthington, RN. Michelle is a nurse in England that practices aesthetics, and Michelle and I met each other in London, 3 months ago now, at the Medical Aesthetics Live meeting. And so we're just waiting for Michelle to sign in here. And there's Celluma Benelux. Hey guys. Hey Bart, how are you? And here we go. We're getting Michelle. My motorcycle. Hey Michelle. Hi, you're interviewing my motorcycle right now.
Oh, I am. What a
Yeah.
nice motorcycle it is too.
Okay, there you go. All right. So everybody now knows I have a motorcycle sitting in my office. Hey Mickey. Wow. Speaking of motorcycles.
It's doing a little reading up on you actually. Wasn't that one of your first jobs at 10 years old?
It was. How do you know that about me? Yeah, I was a shop gunk, as they call them here in the United States. After school, I would fill the soda pop machine, and I would sweep up, and I would empty the ashtrays. Yeah, it was my first entrepreneurial venture, being a shop boy at Lamar's Cycle Center in Orange, California.
It's amazing what you can find out on Google.
Oh no. Okay. Well, don't look too far. We don't know what could be out there. So how are you this morning? Or this afternoon? Sorry.
It's 4 o'clock here, so we've had sort of playing in the garden today, and I've done a couple of video consultations, and yeah, it's been a nice day so far. Great.
Now, boy, I headed home from London, I think on the 3rd or 4th of March, and I think you guys were shut down shortly thereafter. I heard something recently that salons may be opening and spas may be opening July 1st. Is that, or July 4th?
Skin Independence Day is the same as American Independence Day, hopefully.
I found that ironic that we're going to set free the skin professionals in England on the day of American independence. That's somehow appropriate, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, it was like a slight irony there, isn't it?
Yeah. So tell me, with your spa having been shut down since early March, what have you been doing? And just so everybody sort of understands, tell us a little bit about your business. And you're an RN, but you're practicing aesthetics.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're not doing currently.
Well, I'm not practicing obviously any injectable treatments. I'm doing online consultations, but actually the day that I met you at Aesthetic Medicine Live, I also met someone called Richard Crawford Small, and his business is called Aesthetic Entrepreneurs, and I signed up for him to be like a business coach and do what's called the Launchpad program. Because although I've been a nurse, I started my training in 2001. I was actually new to being a business and kind of having a nurse head and my NHS lessons, and learn how to become a businesswoman. So actually I signed up at the most perfect, because obviously we didn't quite know how long this was going to be going on for, and he's been an amazing coach. I've met lots of new people online with similar interests as myself. We've sort of backed each other up, and I've learned to go more digital. So actually my website at the moment's not it's on pause, because I've been working on my website, doing live videos, so you wouldn't have seen me doing this before. Just getting out there, really letting people know that this is me now and this is what I do. And that's because I have actually left the hospital because of an injury to my back. And basically I realised through it was a 4.5-year struggle until I discovered the Celluma, that I'm the only person who can look after me and myself. And so I'm just slowly now growing my,
okay, so besides you stalking me on Google, tell me how did you find Celluma? You know, because because you were a nurse, you had a back injury, and you made a pivot towards aesthetics, and somewhere along the way you discovered Celluma. How did that happen?
I did. Well, it's literally this time last year. I'll show you a photo actually. So this is me.
Cheers.
In May last year. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm actually in a wheelchair.
Oh goodness.
So that's me and my family. And that's how bad my injury was. So I was having to sort of self-catheterize. Obviously I was not working. And things, although I was doing physio, were slowly improving. So I actually had good days and bad days. So it was in about the September, October, I booked a ticket to go to the BACN conference, the British Association of Cosmetic Nurses, which was in Birmingham. So I was hoping that I'd have a good day and I'd be able to go. But because it was local, I thought, okay, well, if I only get half the day, I can come home. And when, as you know, you go to these conferences and there's stands around, and that's where I met Paul Cohen, who is obviously
he's our man in the UK, Paul Cohen.
Yeah, okay. So I think I stuck out like a sore thumb because obviously, you know, by this point I'm registered disabled, I'm at an aesthetics conference and I'm on crutches, and, you know, I did feel, and I do actually have normally sort of pinky lilac hair. So,
yes,
you know,
you did when we met.
You've all kind of drawn to me, with or without the crutches. So literally with the crutches as well. Oh, I've got one here. So obviously I went up to the stand, sort of waved me over and asked if I knew about LED therapy. And actually I did, because up until that point, I had looking into holistic ways of helping with pain. So I was having acupuncture, and I had been reading up on light therapy, but I hadn't actually realised at that point it could be used for pain. I was reading up for it more. Oh, there's Paul saying hi. Hi, Paul. So at that point, I didn't know about its benefits for pain relief, but literally he put it on my back and I was sold.
He did a treatment right on the stand.
Well, I say treatment, it wasn't a full like 30-minute treatment, but probably about 8 to 10 minutes, and I could feel it warming. And I knew at that point, obviously, like hot water bottles and hot baths were helping with the pain, but I just felt like this went deeper. There was just something about it that I just knew it was going to work for me, and it did. Yeah,
well, and so, you know, there's a little misnomer there, because the Celluma is an amazing pain management treatment. And while people get a sense that it's like a warming pad, what we're actually doing is we're actually increasing the microcirculation. We're knocking down inflammation. We're knocking down muscle spasm. And we're settling all the tissue down, and then giving it the energy to heal the way tissue heals naturally. So while there is absolutely a comfy warmth to it, there's a lot more complex metabolic stuff going on. So I'm so glad that we were able to help you out. It reminds me of one of the stories of the first U.S. Marine Corps member that we helped, Sergeant Steve Lubitsch, who presented to us the first time in a walker. And he had been injured by IEDs in both Afghanistan and in Iraq. And he couldn't walk, and he had a botched spinal surgery, and it was amazing just to see this warrior, you know, diminished to almost nothing. And amazingly enough, we got him on the Celluma, and it got him running again within 10 days, which is pretty amazing. So beyond making people, you know, more vital looking, younger looking, we're really proud of the fact that the Celluma is such an effective pain management device and can literally change people's lives overnight in getting them out of pain and getting them active again. So it warms the cockles of my heart that it had such an impact on you. Oh, we lost your sound. Where did you go? I can't hear you. Oh, okay. She went off. Okay. Well, ask to join again, Michelle, and I'll accept you back in. Okay, so while we're waiting for Michelle to come back, it looks like she's reconnecting. Are you there? But no sound. Oh, there you are. Got the sound back. Okay, we're all good. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you. All right, and so can our friends in London and Brussels. So anyway,
I don't know what happened. The joys of modern technology.
That's okay. It's all a mystery to me as well. So we got you back up and going, and you started to incorporate the Celluma into your aesthetic practice. How did that go?
Yeah, so it took from I received the products, I think it was like the end of November. After 6 weeks, I was using it every other day, and literally by the end of January, start of February, I was walking without using a walking aid. But more importantly, personally, my bladder function was starting to work better, and I'd been able to stop sort of ruling my life around self-catheterizing, which was kind of taking over. You know, you can't go anywhere. You have to set an alarm basically, because I had no sensation of my bladder filling. Right. Because damaging my spine, sort of L1, L2, so it affects the sensation nerves of going to the toilet. Yeah. So it was about sort of mid-January. I mean, I've been keeping in touch with my clients, my patients. They're all really understanding, and I'm really pleased to say that nobody went anywhere else. Yeah. They were they couldn't believe how well I looked, and that was because obviously I wasn't in pain anymore. I wasn't on strong pain medication, and so obviously they were intrigued as to what has gone on, Michelle. You've had physio, you've had... Yeah, we're having buffering problems again, Michelle. I think you maybe have a bad connection. You're just the little circles going around there. Oh, you're gone again. Okay, Michelle, invite yourself in again. How long can you use a Celluma after a C-section, after pregnancy? We have plastic surgeons who are recommending it immediately. As soon as you can get the Celluma onto the wound, once bandages are off, you want to use it as much as you possibly can to help heal, to help manage the pain, and to minimize the scarring. And there you are. Hi, I've had to move.
That's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you on your phone now, or are you still on?
I was on my phone, but
Okay. Well, you're good now.
I was in the conservatory because obviously I've got 3 children, so I was hibernating in the conservatory so as not to be interrupted.
Yes.
And my phone got too hot.
Okay. No worries.
So
you're back.
I'm back. I'm in the living room now. So
okay. Excellent. All right.
Should be okay, I hope.
So it's my understanding that your husband is a physician, and that when you got to Celluma, he was just a little bit skeptical, having not learned about light therapy in medical school. How did that all work out?
Well, he was actually he's previously a general surgeon, so he was very skeptical.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, fortunately for me, he wasn't actually at the conference with me, and I had a credit card, so he didn't really have much say in me purchasing it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the thing is, he was more so skeptical because although I'm not actually going to say acupuncture didn't help, it didn't work. You know, it didn't fully work.
Yeah.
It helped, it didn't fully work. So I think because I'd resigned myself to the fact, and he had, that, you know, I was going to be disabled for the rest of my life, really, that, you know, it's like, well, what else, Michelle? We've tried a lot of things now.
Yeah.
I've had private doctors, private physio, I've had a personal trainer, I've had acupuncture, I've tried everything. You know, I was in my late 30s and I was like an old woman, you know, living like an old woman. And, you know, I'd lost a lot of my, you know, mental health. I was feeling very depressed, but also I felt like I'd lost my career as a nurse, and I needed to focus on how I'm going to get, you know, how we're going to work again. Because, you know, as much as obviously mental health awareness, especially during lockdown, so I will mention that, you know, I was feeling very depressed, that I tried anything, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously he'd still got the sensible head on of, you can't just keep going down this route of trying everything, because at some point something's got to give. So and obviously now he's living
All right, Michelle, we're still struggling with a signal. We're buffering. No, you're back. There you are. So is he a believer now? Your husband? I can see you, Michelle. You're there. You're there. Okay. Michelle, can you hear me? Michelle, can you see me? Can you see me? Yes? No? Michelle, why don't you disconnect and then reconnect? Oh, there you are. Are you there? I can't hear you. Okay, there you are.
I don't know what's happening. It's so frustrating.
Well, it's that the whole world is clobbering the internet. That's what's happening. There's no bandwidth available for global pandemics.
Yeah, it's just, I think what I'll do is, as soon as I can't hear you again, if that happens, I'll just log out and request to keep coming back in. I think that's the best we can do, and then obviously get the video put together in one.
Yeah. No, we're doing good. We're doing good.
So I don't know where we were at, actually.
Well, I getting over your husband's skepticism. You had the credit card. You went ahead and bought has he used it secretly? Is he using it on his back or something? Yeah.
Yeah, he's cycling, and he's had it on his knees. He's just come in now. He's also he's had it on his lower back. Yeah, he knows it works.
Yeah, good.
But there was 2 reasons two patients, obviously myself included, but you know, people think, oh, it could be placebo because you're using something and you know, you really want it to work. But obviously you can't make a bladder work that's not worked properly for months.
Right.
So that was the first thing. And then I actually had a gentleman come and see me whose daughter actually came and had aesthetic treatments, but had obviously seen recovery. And he'd had a knee replacement 10 months ago and fallen on his knee replacement. And it was swollen. He couldn't straighten it up. He was in constant pain.
Right. But
we had a slight problem that they lived a long distance away. And he could only come weekly.
Right.
And, you know, we know treatments ideally should be more than weekly. But I said, well, it should still help. You know, there's no reason it won't help. So let's get you booked in. We'll start a course of treatments and see how it goes. And by the second week, he'd lost 2 centimetres. So the first week, he just said it felt better. By the second treatment, he'd lost 2 centimetres. By the end of his 6th treatment, I've measured his knee and he'd lost 5 centimetres in total. He could now go up the stairs.
Wow.
He wasn't in discomfort. If you look on my Instagram page, which if anyone's watching is at MW Aesthetic Health, I think I put his pictures on back in February. But yeah, that was as soon as my partner saw that result, no tick. It was
so you sort of you hit on an opportunity for Celluma practitioners to be doing something during the shutdown, which is lending or renting or leasing their devices to their clients so that their clients can use them, or their patients, they can use them at home. And even if it makes sense, becoming an authorized reseller of the Celluma, because the Celluma is medically CE marked for home use, and being able to sell the device. So someone who is a long way away from you, they don't need to come in every day, you know, particularly someone with an acute injury or a chronic pain management injury where they would in fact benefit from daily or every other day treatment. And it doesn't make sense coming in to see you, you know, absolutely, you know, everybody should have a Celluma at home.
Yeah, I totally agree. And had Celluma actually been really available on the NHS, it would have saved them thousands of pounds of money for my, you know, for the treatments that I've had.
Yes. Okay. Lost you. Okay. We'll just keep doing this. It's the world we're in today. This is the new normal. You there? Michelle? Okay.
I
can. Okay. Yeah, I can.
I'm going for
just the.
Hang on. Can you? Is that okay now?
Yeah. It's great.
Right. It's okay. I've got one of these the iPhones, and we found the headphones. We needed the adapter.
Okay.
So my partner's run around frantic to find the adapter for the headphones.
Okay. Well, we're good. No worries.
So.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's what happens. It's how it is. I can calm down now.
Yeah. Have some tea.
Well, actually, I've got some juice over there.
There.
There we go.
Okay.
Right. Cheers.
So, tell me how are you staying connected with your clients and your patients while you've been off?
Various ways, to be honest. What I did to start with was I went through all my patient notes, and everybody who takes an antidepressant, you know, when you do your consultation and take a medical history, I actually phoned those all first to say, you know, I really hope that you're doing well. And obviously I've got more time on my hands now than normal. So if you feel that you need to chat to anybody, then obviously, you know, please do get in touch and reach out.
Right.
And then I have obviously messaged people. I do monthly newsletters. And then because of being in the aesthetic entrepreneur group, we sort of get pushed to come out of our comfort zones and do live videos.
Yeah.
And that's where Physiology Friday came in. So I was each week doing something to do with physiology, but to help lay people understand what we do, but in, you know, medically, but so that they can understand physiologically how it works. And then because we had VE Day, and there was a lot of street parties going on, I didn't do Physiology Friday on that day. And that's when I did Celluma Saturday. And obviously the outcome of that is this.
Even though it's spelled with a C, but we'll go with it.
It's, you know, it's, what's it called? It's, I forgot what it's called now, and it sounds the same.
Yes.
But
Yes. So phonetic.
Alliteration. I was thinking alliteration,
Oh, okay.
but yeah.
Okay.
Same
Using
thing.
the Queen's English on me, you know, that's an unfair advantage.
So various ways I've kept in touch, but people, you do find, I think in the day and age that we are in, people do appreciate a phone call.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what I've found. It's really nice to just pick up the phone and say hi. So I've done five phone calls a day.
Again, another thing that we've done during the shutdown is we've actually created an education program called Skinposium, and where we are providing education, and in the UK it would be Paul providing education to Celluma practitioner clients, where via Zoom we can set up a meeting, and, you know, since everybody's stuck at home, why not do a little education on light therapy? And so that helps educate the practitioners, clients or patients, has them more informed, and potentially has them interested in buying a device or renting a device, or just coming in as soon as they can get in to see you.
It certainly does, because I actually did one of those, and from that I just, you know, did a post to say that I was doing some training that day. And I actually then put somebody in touch with Paul from that. So, but the learning was really, really good, really helpful.
Right. And then we've also, we've modified our level 4 training on light therapy in the Celluma. And so it's now available online, and I'm pretty sure we're doing weekly classes, but they seem to be selling out every week. So again, if you're at home and you want to keep up with your certification and your education, you can get online level 4 training on the Celluma from us. And for those of you in the UK, you can just reach out to Paul, and we can make that happen.
Yeah, I definitely will be doing the level 4. There's no doubt about that. I love learning. It's just, I mean, obviously it's part of being a nurse as well, is continual education and learning development. But actually for me, it's within my bones. I love to learn, and also I love to be able to explain things to people in a way that they then understand, which I think is why my Physiology Fridays have gone down so well.
Yeah. Well, and so as you know, the way I always explain it, maybe to some of those that are listening in, it's like photosynthesis for animals.
For plants.
For mammals. Yeah. Because not only for humans, but also for all of our pets. You know, unless of course you own a lizard. I'm not sure how light therapy works on reptiles, but we know it works great on cats and dogs and horses. And so it's really just an alternative energy source for cellular function, that instead of relying on the mitochondrial process and the synthesis of oxygen and glucose into ATP, we're triggering that process using sunlight and specific wavelengths of sunlight. So you can drill down several levels of science, but it's really just, you know, it's sort of using specific wavelengths of sunlight to trigger normal cellular function. It's like walking outside on a sunny day, except we've gotten rid of all of the bad wavelengths, no UV, no skin damage, and just use the good wavelengths for increasing cellular activity.
I mean, if you, I explained it in a very different way, which was about the cell being damaged, and obviously, like all cells, everything needs energy, waste, products coming in, waste coming out. So if you watch my Celluma Saturday, I actually explain it like a car, and you're actually, to get to the mitochondria, you're sort of bypassing going to the garage to get fuel. Yeah. The light is just putting the fuel straight into that cell to help it work again. Yeah. And that's kind of how I choose to explain it to people. You're just sort of bypassing a route of repair and slowness, and just getting that energy straight into that cell to help things work better.
Yeah. So you're a gearhead at heart, I can tell.
Yeah.
All right. I love it.
I'm working towards that Porsche. Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Okay. So what else would you want to share with all the people listening in?
I think I'd just like to really share how amazing the device is, only for, you know, the rejuvenation of skin elastin and collagen. I use it in my clinic, but also for pain and pain management. And I just want to hope that doing this with yourself does help to promote how well it can be used. I've currently got a clinic being built. I'm just working at the moment. I'm going from a one-room clinic to it's basically 2 treatment rooms with a waiting area, office, etc. And my second treatment room is going to be dedicated to Celluma.
Excellent.
So I'm actually going to have 2 afternoon sessions a week where people who are, you know, suffering with long-term pain problems can actually come and have free treatments to try and help them to recover the way that I have. Because I think the way that the Celluma has worked for me is priceless, and I feel like I really need to pass that on to people. And the only way within the UK, unfortunately, that I feel that will happen is it's just word of mouth, word of mouth, word of mouth, rather than the NHS actually listening and, you know, watching the science behind things. They've got to see results. So I want to be in the forefront of people actually being able to use the Celluma, have access to it, go to their physicians and show them the results. Yeah. You know, because I've been written off, really, you know. It was like, you've been written off, you're disabled, you've had physio to the maximum, you've had this to the maximum, you've got crutches, you've got a wheelchair for bad days. But actually, I've now got my life back, and if I can help other people get an ounce of their life back, that's what I'm going to do. So my second treatment room is for that purpose. Yeah.
Now, Michelle, there was just a question. Someone was asking the difference between the Dermalux and the Celluma, and specifically, is the Dermalux more powerful? And the issue is that power really doesn't make a difference. Okay. It really is.
It's the distance.
It's really about how much energy is available for absorption. And because the Celluma not only is flexible and shape taking, that makes it contour to the area treatment, because the key to efficacy is getting light emission as close to the surface of the skin as possible. You can have a really powerful device, but if that light energy isn't available for absorption, it doesn't matter, you know. And those powerful devices are typically more expensive. And so, you know.
And actually, when I met Paul at that conference where I actually got my Celluma, I had been looking at one of the Flex devices, but when he explained the science, and obviously they sit probably about 6 inches away from the skin, and it was like, oh, well, actually, it's a no-brainer then, isn't it? The closer to the skin, the better it's going to work, because it's going to hit where you need it to.
Well, sort of tying your 2 comments together, the fundamental mission of Biophotos and the invention of the Celluma was to bring the therapeutic benefits of light therapy to the masses, where prior to us coming onto the market, efficacious devices were very expensive, 5, 10, 15, 25,000 quid. And that didn't make any sense to me. And to sort of crack that nut, we figured out if we could emit the light energy right at the surface of the skin, we didn't need as powerful and therefore as expensive as a device to be able to create therapeutic benefit. And so we were sort of the first company to take a different path up the mountain. Those big devices, they absolutely work. They practice the science, particularly the devices that have medical credentials. The problem is that they're really expensive and they're really big and bulky, and you could never have one at home. And that's really what distinguishes the Celluma from anything else on the market, that it's both, top line efficacious, but affordable. Not only for the practitioner, but again, if it makes sense, for the consumer. And so our whole channel model is using the professional to educate the consumer and then be a point of sale, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and totally. And for me as a practitioner, I only ever use high quality products. So it was really important to me that it was FDA cleared and sort of CE approved as well, when I was making that purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. In addition to having the most regulatory credentials around the world, the Celluma is legally registered to sell into 78 countries. We are also the most award-winning around the world, including in 2019, the Aesthetics Award for the most innovative product of the year. And that was against all products in medical aesthetics, not just light therapy, but all products. So little old Celluma was going up against all the 800-pound gorillas in medical aesthetics and took home the award. So we're very, very proud of that.
It was, and you won that award about, it actually came to you about 2 weeks after I'd bought my Celluma. So I was like, oh yay, he's a winner. I've done the right thing here. I've bought the right product. I've invested wisely.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, as we say, we're only successful if you're successful. And, so we try and do a lot after sale to support our practitioners, to continue to educate, to continue to give them resources to educate their patients and their clients. Because truly what we want, we want a chicken in every pot and a Celluma in every home.
And there's no reason why that shouldn't happen. I just think, watch this space, Patrick, because I just think it's life-changing, and I will carry on my mission to promote, how much it has changed my life for the better. And obviously going forward, once my new clinic's open and I've got my Celluma room, then other people in my area will be singing the same message. And, it's word of mouth. And then of course that'll end up on social media, because that's how things go now. So I can't imagine it won't happen.
Right. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you this morning, Michelle. I appreciate it. I appreciate you working through all the technology issues.
Sorry about that. I don't know what was
that's okay.
Your end, my end. I don't know.
Last month, I was trying to do one of these with Dr. Adrian Richards, who is a renowned plastic surgeon in London. And we had the same issues, and it was just me being a technology neophyte. So no worries. It's great seeing you. I look forward to seeing you sometime soon in London. And until then, take care and good luck opening your practice and getting your Celluma room up and running. Let us know how we can help you out, okay?
Will do. Thank you so much for your time as well. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.